Amber Heard was cross-examined for the first time yesterday, and a shocking secret was finally exposed that could land Amber Heard in jail for perjury. I'm Mackenzie, and let's get into all the juicy details. While being cross-examined about her $3.5 million ACLU pledge, Heard was finally forced to admit that she did not donate anywhere close to the amount that she pledged she was going to years ago, and now she could be in trouble for lying under oath. After the couple divorced in 2016, Heard said that she would split the $7 million divorce settlement between the Children's Hospital LA and the American Civil Liberties Union, or ACLU, which would be about $3.5 million to each. At the time, she said she didn't want the money, rather she just wanted justice for Johnny's horrible actions towards her. But now that she's admitted to lying, legal experts claim she is in trouble. During her testimony, she stated that she has not donated the money yet because, quote, Johnny sued me for $50 million in March of 2019. However, Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez argued that Heard had the money for months before the lawsuit, yet failed to donate the money as she promised. To make matters worse, during the UK libel trial, Amber Heard gave completely different testimony and did not admit to donating the money. Sean Caulfield, partner at law firm Hodge, Jones & Allen, told Mail Online today that Heard could face a perjury probe in the UK as misleading a court, quote, cuts to the core of our justice system. He also added police could in fact investigate these claims, continuing, quote, while it may not be a central issue to the case, the donations, perjury is the single biggest threat and cuts to the core of our justice system, so the police may be invited to investigate to show that any member of the public who lies to the court can be prosecuted for perjury. Clearly, in the grand scheme, this lie does little to answer the question of if Johnny Depp ever got physical with Amber, but it clearly helps Depp's side argue that she is a documented liar, and if she lied about the donations, she could lie about a lot more. Legal expert Mark Stevens also said police could blame the lie on not understanding the question asked rather than deliberately not telling the truth, saying, quote, it's notoriously difficult to bring and prosecute a perjury case. You have to show that someone deliberately told an untruth as opposed to them being confused or misremembering. I think it would be a very difficult thing to do. The mention of donating her divorce settlement first came up when Heard appeared on Dutch talk show RTL Late Night in 2018, where she said, quote, $7 million in total was donated. I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of LA. I wanted nothing. At the time, she made it clear that she had already donated this divorce money. However, ACLU Chief Operating Officer and General Counsel Terrence Dougherty testified earlier in the case that only $1.3 million has either been donated by Heard or on her behalf, with most of it coming from other sources like Elon Musk. Of that money, Heard contributed $350,000 directly in December of 2018, and she's not paid off any more since. A further $100,000 was paid by Depp, and another $350,000 came from a fund at Fidelity, an investment company assumed to be Elon Musk. Depp's team is stating that Heard is a blatant liar who used the claim of donation to gain sympathy from the public. However, Heard has fired back that she intends to donate the money once Johnny Depp stops suing her. Heard is also no stranger to perjuring herself. She was investigated back in 2015 by the FBI for lying about illegally bringing her dogs into Australia. Heard avoided charges after she publicly apologized and blamed a lack of sleep on why she did not fill the required paperwork. We are currently in the midst of the cross-examination of Amber Heard, and it's getting very spicy. Johnny Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez is taking all the shots she can at Amber to prove that she is a liar and master manipulator, and one of these shots includes accusing Amber of leaking her divorce to TMZ. During the trial, Heard and Vasquez started talking about Heard and Depp's divorce. When asked about it, Heard said that she tried to keep the information on the divorce as private as possible, but she knew that when she filed the paperwork, media outlets would be able to see the public records. However, Depp's attorney had a different view and accused Amber of telling the paparazzi to be there when she filed for divorce, causing a massive news story for that day. The day that Amber did file for divorce, paparazzi were waiting outside the door to talk to her about what happened, almost as if they knew that she was there to file for divorce from Johnny. Vasquez also played a clip of Heard's previous deposition, where she essentially let it slip that she alerted TMZ. In the clip of the deposition, Heard was stating that she tried to warn Depp of the divorce before she filed so that he wouldn't be caught off guard. And she said, quote, I didn't want him to find out online that I had or was about to file for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally, so I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. Continuing, quote, I would like him to know that information so that he finds out about the divorce filing from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted. And then in this deposition, Heard covered her own mouth because she realized she had just exposed herself. Vasquez then pressed her about exposing herself, but of course Heard denied telling TMZ about her divorce before she filed. Vasquez also pressed Heard about potentially giving other evidence to TMZ as well, like the video that leaked of Johnny banging up their kitchen. The kitchen video was leaked the day before Heard filed for divorce, and Vasquez asserts that TMZ now owns this clip because Amber sold it to them. Vasquez also questioned Amber Heard on how TMZ could have possibly gotten a hold of a video that was taken on Amber's cell phone, but Amber continued that she did not give the clip to the news outlet. Johnny Depp's psychiatrist has taken the stand during the trial between Depp and ex-wife Amber Heard, and he exposed that Depp did not want to get married to Heard, but she pushed him so hard for it, eventually he gave in to her demands. Let's get into all the details. Depp's psychiatrist, Dr. Alan Blaustein, took to the stand to speak about Depp's behavior and feelings during his relationship with Heard. While on the stand, Dr. Blaustein admitted that Johnny was not sure if he wanted to marry Amber or not. One of Depp's reservations was that he was 51 years old at the time and felt he was too old for the change. He also read a note where Depp described Heard as, quote, being my mother and psychotic sister, sharing reservations he had with their relationship in general. The psychiatrist claimed that Depp was paranoid during this time and had many issues that were caused by his chaotic relationship. After the shocking testimony, tweets went viral sharing the news. One tweet wrote, quote, per his psychiatrist's notes, Johnny Depp did not want to get married to Amber Heard. We have seen from other witnesses that the wedding had been rushed and pushed for by Amber with no prenup. Another tweet read, quote, Johnny Depp's psychiatrist. He suffered with anxiety and depression. He compared Amber to his abusive mother. He had substances to numb his pain. He tried to leave Amber. Great witness for Amber. During his testimony, Dr. Blaustein shared Depp's issues with substances along with common feelings of rage and jealousy. He stated, quote, it was a very chaotic relationship and a lot of fluctuations, up and downs, lots of difficulties, emotional expressions, lots of anger in both places and high intensity, a lot of love, a lot of disappointment, a lot of fears. The doctor added, quote, part of his goal of therapy was to work through the anger that he and his fiancée had towards each other. The doctor met with Depp 18 times between October of 2014 and January of 2015, and he testified that the Pirates actor, quote, expressed having anger towards Amber and feelings of jealousy. The doctor even shared that Depp had similar feelings of rage and chaos in previous relationships, including with the mother of his children, Vanessa Paradis. Specifically, the former couple had many arguments about child care. The psychiatrist also testified that he and Depp spoke about his abuse as a child and how that affected his adult relationships. During the sessions, Depp did not speak of any physical violence with Heard, but claimed she was, quote, such a pain in the ass, and his relationship with Amber reminded him of his relationship with his psychotic sister and his mom.
Ironically, she has a little difficulty crying, acting-wise, so...
Amber Heard's acting coach just exposed her for fake crying during the trial, and this could be the final nail in the coffin to anyone supporting her. Let's get into the details. In pre-recorded testimony, acting coach Christina Sexton said Heard had, quote, difficulty crying acting-wise. Sexton worked with Heard from 2011 to 2017 and said she could tell when Amber Heard was genuinely crying because Amber struggled to produce real tears while acting. In the December 2019 deposition, the acting coach says she saw Amber cry multiple times during their sessions about her volatile relationship with ex Johnny Depp. Apparently, as the couple's relationship progressed and the fighting got heavier, quote, I would have to build in time because she'd be sobbing at the beginning of sessions and we couldn't work until we got her together. Sexton further described their relationship to the court. Apparently, they had more than a professional relationship and became friends over the years. Apparently, Heard even invited her acting coach on birthday trips and vacations. She testified that at the start of Heard and Depp's relationship, she witnessed the couple being, quote, incredibly lovey-dovey and passionate and always together in a positive way. But as time went on, that changed, and she saw Depp and Heard together less, along with hearing them get into arguments while Sexton was there for at-home acting lessons. Sexton added, quote, it went from being like a normal couple to very tension-filled, especially those last few months when they were together. Before her relationship with Depp, Heard was never late for their sessions. However, as time passed and things got worse in their relationship, Sexton claimed she needed to add in cushion time to their sessions because Amber would arrive frazzled or in tears and needed to be calmed down before they could do their acting work. Adding, quote, I would say that last year they were together, probably 80 to 90% of our sessions began with her crying. In her deposition, Sexton said she could tell when Heard's tears were genuine because, quote, ironically she has a little difficulty crying acting-wise. During Amber Heard's testimony, she cried on multiple occasions, or should I say attempted to cry, because most of the time it looked like she made the facial expressions of crying, but the tears did not come out. So many are thinking this testimony from the acting coach proves that Amber has been faking in court, and her strange behavior with crying is due to the fact that Amber is not very good at fake crying. Things are about to get a lot worse for Amber Heard, as an insider just claimed that Warner Brothers held an emergency meeting to talk about the fate of Amber Heard in Aquaman 2, and spoiler alert, they want her completely gone. Let's get into the details. We already know that all anyone can talk about these days is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and the internet has placed their support firmly behind Johnny, with the vast majority of people believing Amber Heard is a manipulative liar. This is not the response that DC was looking for, as the company took a huge gamble including Amber Heard in the sequel for Aquaman, even with petitions at the time calling for her to be removed. As of now, a petition to have her cut from Aquaman 2 has reached a whopping 4 million signatures, and it's clearly making Warner Brothers executives very concerned. An insider just reported that with all the negative media attention surrounding the trial, Warner Brothers decided to hold an emergency meeting to discuss what to do about the Amber Heard problem. It's already been stated in court that Amber Heard's role in the film has been cut down dramatically, with her only appearing in roughly 10 minutes of the movie. President of DC Films Walter Hamada took the stand for 3 hours during Heard's trial, where he confirmed that her role in the movie was seriously diminished in the wake of the hatred against her. Heard agreed, saying in court, quote, "It was a very pared down version of the part that she was meant to play," claiming that Warner Brothers didn't want to put her in the movie at all. In court, Heard continued, quote, "I fought really hard to stay in the movie, they didn't want to include me in the film." During the deposition, the lawyer asked, quote, "Were you ultimately able to film in Aquaman 2? Heard replied, "A very pared down version of that role, yes." Then the lawyer responded, "What if anything changed in the script?" Heard continued, quote, "I was given a script, then given new versions of the script that had taken away scenes that had action in it, that depicted my character and another character without giving any spoilers away, 2 characters fighting with one another. They basically took a bunch out of my role. They just removed a bunch." As of now, we don't know if the claims made by this insider are true, but I think it's safe to say that DC is definitely having conversations about how they might move forward if Heard is found guilty of lying. And this is not the only problem facing Warner Brothers at this time. Most notably, the franchise is facing immense trouble with the Flash star, Ezra Miller, who seems to be getting arrested in Hawaii like once a month at this point.